I'm Zach with the Better Home Inspection, and I'm joined here today by Lee Arnold with Benchmark Properties, one of our fantastic and wonderful real estate agents that works with us. And I'm going to be doing our live series of Inspecting the Professional. Lee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So first off, I'm going to go into your background. But first off, how'd you get into real estate?
So I started as a senior in high school, working at a property management company in Carlsbad, answering phones on the afternoon shift.
All right. Well, so why property management versus pure grade real estate, like some may choose?
Just needed a job. They were hiring.
Hey, that's a straight answer.
Yep.
Because most places you get into just because you needed the job at that moment, you find works.
Yep.
So now, how many years since senior in high school to today?
21 years.
21 years.
Yep.
Wow, full term. So working in property management, you're working with renters, you're working with buyers, and you're working with sellers, correct?
Homeowners, they were just strictly a property management company,
Okay.
Did not do sales.
As of now, though, for yourself now.
Oh, excuse me, I apologize.
No,
Yes.
no worries.
Yeah, so we have the property management division and then also the buy and sell, sales division as well.
Okay, so going into property management, now California's rent rates is, especially here,
Yeah.
I myself pay an exorbitant amount. So what do you see as a benefit of the process of working property management? Because I've seen the exceptional reviews you have from helping people from rentals into selling or buying a home.
Sure. Yeah. One of the nice things is that at the end of the day, everybody needs a home to live in. So whether they can afford to buy or they can only afford to rent, at the end of the day, you want to help people. So a lot of our client, in Southern California is a military demographic, so they're not here very long. Also, our biotech industry, a lot of people are here on contracts, so they're not necessarily looking to invest in the neighborhoods that they're living in because they know they're only here for 2 to 3 years. So you get some people that will buy and they'll either hold on to it as a rental or they'll buy it and then sell it, later on. It all depends on their situation and everything else that goes along with that. So.
Okay. So going into that, you said the military demographic, and you also said that the contract work. So Southern California, mainly Carlsbad, going down the coast down to San Diego, is defense contractors, building contractors, and bio. So again, going into the contracts, what do you find as a valuable metric or a way of applying your marketing techniques into getting these people? Like, how are you finding the most success in attracting these audiences that you have found due to their circumstances?
Now it's the benefit of referrals.
Okay.
So the amount of marketing that we do is more neighborhood specific.
Okay.
So farming.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's all referral.
Okay.
So we do a little bit of online lead generation, but very minimal. That's kind of one of our goals for 2020 is stepping that up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so experience of an agent can be wide ranging.
Right.
And you talked about rentals, and this could be even wider of a range.
You're right.
So what would you say is one of your most heartwarming experiences with helping a client, whether it be a buy, a sell, or just a rental? Like, what is one that's just left a mark in you?
Usually it's the ones that thought they could never buy. My most heartwarming renter situation was a single mom with 3 kids who was homeless.
Wow.
And we were able to get her into the city of Carlsbad. Was a Section 8 participating city, and I had a property owner who was willing to participate in the Section 8 program. And we got her into a 3-bedroom apartment on the coast in Carlsbad, and she was literally living in a shelter. And so my property owner, who had a heart of gold, filled up the whole pantry with groceries and let them live there for a couple of years while she kind of got on her feet. So that showed me that despite most apartment owners being investors, there's a lot of them. Unfortunately, I've had the joy of working with them that are still humans. And they still have a heart and they still have compassion. And now, even with what we're going through now, a lot of my clients are like, hey, if they're in that position to be able to, not forgive rent, because most people can't forgive rent, but at least be willing to work with people right now. So that was definitely really cool. And then, of course, being able to just to see people that thought they could never buy a home, get a home, or people that thought, I can't get into this neighborhood. And it's like, well, let's try some tactics here to pull on the heartstrings of the homeowner, that's selling the home to let you win the contract.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's That's a good one. Let's give you that one. So now we in inspections have our strange. We have our strange inspections.
Yes.
You know, it is what it is.
Yep.
Real estate has strange. You meet thousands and thousands of people that may or may not work with you. But what would be one of your strangest experience, whether it be with a person or just the transaction itself? Just the entire process seemed to not go right.
Oh goodness. You know, it's interesting because in real estate you do see everything from what's really a tear down, you know, that some people are willing to live in. You know, we may classify it as a tear down, to literally multi-million-dollar estate homes and, you know, properties that are literally estates that have a full-time staff to take care of the property. You know, the strangest is probably just seeing what people will do and what people, their vision, you know, because I have my own lens that I look through, and I have my own filters, and I'll get people that, you know, they'll come in and they'll say, hey, I want a fixer. Well, only to find out they watch a little too much HGTV, and by fixer they mean like, I maybe want to repaint a cabinet on the weekend.
Gotcha.
That's not a fixer.
No,
that's just normal home ownership. You know, but then you get people that, I had this one gal that her and her husband, I did a couple transactions with them, and they'll randomly call me and she said, hey, I saw this house, I want to go check it out. And I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is a dump. This is gonna, you know, holy moly. But okay, let's go look at it. And we go to look at it, and she's getting thrilled, like her eyeballs are becoming silver dollars at how terrible the property is. And I looked at her and I said, why are you so excited? She goes, I could do whatever I want here. I'm like, that's true, you can. I mean, this property had a literally an exterior jacuzzi on a pedestal in the master bedroom. And it was one of those properties that had staircases going up and all different, it was just one of the weirdest properties. And she says, well, what can we do for this? I said, well, actually we call the city of Vista and we tell them that we're going to donate the house to them as a controlled burn. And she looked at me, she goes, we can do that? I said, yeah, well, that'll help your demolition cost. And so it's just those odd things. And then you go to other properties that it's like, you know, the worst thing they have to do is clean the house before they move in.
So a controlled burn donation?
Yes.
Yep. All right, that's the strangest I've gotten.
Or the SWAT team, you know, you get the SWAT team and you tell them to come out and they can blow up the house and run exercises through it. So
does that work, though? Realtors, you guys just learned something new today. So
work with your local police and fire department. They will gladly destroy a home for you.
Maybe the military too. Maybe
we got Camp Hill. They got schoolhouses for that.
True. So in the process of real estate, what is something that you wish you knew now that you wish you had known, that you know now that you wish you had known at day one, year one, when you're really struggling on your own, actually doing it, not necessarily just answering the phone?
Sure. Probably more so two things. One is don't be afraid to go for what you know you can do.
Okay.
But then also set boundaries.
Okay.
Setting boundaries has been something that I've learned over the years from other professionals that have done a really good job at that, and I've tried to mimic them and channel my inner alter ego with them, is letting them know that, you know, whether it be a client, a property owner, a tenant, you know, it's like, look, after a certain hour, my family comes first. You know, unless it's a literal 911 emergency, most stuff can wait till the next day. So in the middle of the night, you know, and that's the tricky part too, is I have a lot of international clients because of property management. So a lot of my clients are in Okinawa, they're in other parts of the world, and our time zones are different. You know, I've got clients in Dubai, you know, they're literally opposite of us. So those ones you have to do as best as you can with the time zone differences. But most of the local clients, you know, whether they're East Coast or Central Time, just setting boundaries that, you know, I need to pay attention to my family after 6 o'clock at night, you know, and that's probably, you know, and I gotta say, 9.5 out of 10 clients totally respect that. You know, they have no issues with it. They're super great people, and they know I've got a young family and I've got young kids and everything else, so they're pretty good about it. So
I want to kind of go into a little bit of it now. International real estate is growing, but it's been growing for years. As a property manager with international clients with differing time zones, personally, I had to do business deals with Norway, 8-hour time difference, 10-hour time difference, depending on the area. And that's, I'm up at night, they're now waking up.
Mhm.
So is there a system that you have that helps with establishing the boundaries for not having to take a call at midnight? Do you have something that helps you within your own team or within your own self? Do you set a boundary system that allows them to know, like, hey, because of the time difference, we're looking at email transfers?
Yeah, so most of the time, nowadays we're finding more and more people just don't want to talk on the phone. That's helps. So the reality of it is that you're going to usually get people that are going to text you. So using WhatsApp, stuff, programs like that, or obviously just good old fashioned email. But then I've got clients that, we need to schedule time. So a couple of my Okinawa clients will literally schedule time that, it's their 8 o'clock at night or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever it is. I don't know, the exact, but you figure it out, and they just know that in the middle of the day, our time will respond, and during our Pacific Standard Time zone. And then, but if there's something that we absolutely have to get on the phone for, we can do that.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So, what would you say the best advice you've ever received that you now can kind of live by to provide to others?
Don't be scared. Just do it. And this is probably the best. I have to give a shout out to my friend Katie Lance for this. Is done is better than perfect.
Danny says it all the time. He gives that to me all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
So before I go into the final question, do we have anything on chat for questions?
Not yet.
Not as of yet. So any of the real estate agents that do have questions for Lee clearly has a very large litany of career professionalism inside property management, has his own international clientele as well as local clientele. So if you guys have questions for him that he can provide some type of experience or just information that he himself has learned, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll connect you with him. Do you have any objection to that?
No, of course, absolutely.
Awesome.
That's the best thing too, is, if you're in a position to help others, you need to help others.
Absolutely.
And I have been gifted so many things, and I'm an open book, and I'm more than happy to share.
Beautiful. So finally, I love to talk about goals, and what I mean by that is the goal for the year, the next 6 months, the next week, or some people that are a little bit crazier have their little 5-year, 10-year, and then 50-year plans.
Yeah.
So what is your 2020 goal? And I ask this now with all things considered, not January 1st, 2020 goals. I'm talking about today, June 1st, 2020 goals. What are you looking at going forward?
So probably 2 things. One is get my CRM working, use it. Because again, I've been very blessed that because of just being in the industry for 21 years, I kind of stink at using a CRM. But that being said, doesn't mean I can't. So, and again, practicing what I preach, done is better than perfect.
Yep.
Got to be doing something. So I've started that, and like anything else, it's a slow snowball that eventually it will grow. The other thing is utilizing those online leads and those online resources, because frankly, there's a lot of good people out there that need good service, and I would love to help them if I can.
Beautiful. So I did read one thing on your reviews, and I have to follow up with this. So can you tell me about the rainy day on Sunday that listed in the morning and you had an offer in by noon?
Yes. So that is legitimately one of those situations where you'll commonly hear real estate agents or brokers say, "Who you work with matters."
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, I don't know that the average person understands what that means. And as industry professionals, we know that if you're working with someone who knows what they're doing, you're going to have a better experience or a better outcome. Mm-hmm. I hate to say it, but we've all come across an agent where we look at the contract and we go, "Oh my God, I'm going to run circles around this person." And it's not going to be to the benefit of their client. It's going to be the benefit of my client. And my fiduciary responsibility is to my client.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to do anything unethical or try to cheat somebody out of something, but at the same time,
the ground you lay is the ground that you've laid.
Right. And so, here's the thing, we all started somewhere. I remember my first transaction. I remember my first time I leased a home. I remember the first time I sold it and closed an escrow. We all start somewhere, but I look at situations where when you have an opportunity to help someone make the largest financial decision of their life, you shouldn't be taking that experience lightly.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to speak and pick on a lot of the brokers out there that are running offices, and that if you're letting your agents run rogue by themselves, you're doing them and their client a disservice.
Wow.
Because we all started somewhere. You know, when a mechanic learns for the first time how to change oil, he didn't sit there and watch a YouTube University video and change the oil. He probably had someone sitting there, or she had someone sitting there watching, say, okay, now unplug this, now do that, now do that. Likewise, they should be, and I know a lot of great organizations have that. I think KW has a mentorship program, which is wonderful. A lot of them do, but I see so many agents out there floundering by themselves, and I just so bad want to just grab them and be like, just let me help you. And it's not because I know better, it's because someone did that for me.
Gotcha.
Someone did that for me. And I would really like to see our industry have more of a true mentorship program where people's like, hey, you passed the test, off you go. It's like, no, you know. So to get to the point of the rainy day, my friend called me and said, hey, I found this house up in Temecula. I'd like to go check it out. I'm like, okay, cool. And we're kind of casually looking around the North County, Fallbrook, Oceanside, and then South Temecula area. And I reached out to the agent, and they said, yeah, go ahead. The seller will be there. So, okay, that's not totally normal, but I'm not afraid of that. Yeah. So, okay, cool. So we go to meet the guy. He lets us in the home. He leaves us alone. We walk around the house, and he came out after we were done kind of touring the property and said, you know, do you guys have any questions? And we had a couple, you know, basic like, hey, what about this? How do you like living here? What's the neighborhood like? You know, just the basic kind of questions, because again, I know my boundary lines. I can't engage with him and start negotiating with him or offering him because he's represented, right? Just as much as he can't go to my client. And he just started vomiting stuff out and was just going to town about all the stuff, what he wanted, how he wanted the contract to look like. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, and I'm just storehousing all this stuff, right? I'm just taking it all in. And we wrote an offer that day, got it presented, and got it accepted that day because we knew exactly what the seller wanted. And at the end of the day, I was like, it's not really how it's supposed to go. But it wasn't bad. And honestly, we were very fair to him. I mean, he got what he wanted, and what he got was market rate and everything else. So, but it was one of those days, it was pouring rain, which is what, 3 days a year in Southern California. That's why I brought it up, like, you know, so we're out there, and, you know, I think we actually had a jacket on because, you know, we have jackets every once in a while in Southern California. And we had jackets on. I think I had closed-toed shoes on, and it's kind of weird, you know, not the normal uniform, but we were able to get him a really good escrow. My client still lives there today, and the neat thing is that he's a contractor, and we were able to kind of roundtable and spitball some ideas that things he could do over time to slowly improve the house and improve the equity of the home. And it's been neat to kind of see that transformation. So
that was great tip.
Yeah.
So I'm going to surprise you with one last question on this one, and that is going to be because of the realm of real estate that you work in, which is property management, dealing with renters, and because of the current scenario as of right now.
Yeah.
What do you have from your professional experience and just, again, your background, to tell them now to prepare for, to prep, to do everything? Because again, the rates are really low. Some people can get in if they do have, you know, the financial means to do so, or the higher likelihood, which is most of my friends, is I don't even know.
Right.
So what are some things that you could give to someone that is in that space right now, that is
specifically a renter?
Specifically a renter.
It's a really good question. So one of the things that kills me is when, you know, we're running applications, we're screening people, right? We're looking at all their financials, we're running their credit, and so many times people don't know what's on their credit report. They don't even know how to read a credit report, which is fair. I mean, most people, why would you know? But they can make the mortgage payment. They're paying in rent usually what a home ballpark-ish, you know. You know, of course, there's different scenarios, but for the most part, they're looking at making payments that they could be making if they were to buy a home. And nowadays, with interest rates as ridiculously low as they are, there's opportunities for people to buy. And so now, again, we talked earlier, you may only be here for 2-3 years. You may be military. You may be coming in. You know for sure you're going out in 4, so you don't want to bother buying. Maybe you do. But I would say, one, if you look at people that have been ridiculously successful over the long run, were never people that put a ton of money in the stock market or, bought in the Bitcoin phenomenon or get rich programs. And I'm not picking on any multi-level marketing things. It's more of the steady Eddie. Go for the slow growth over the long term. Those are my clients that have been literally what I call stupid rich, have been the ones that invested conservatively, bought a small little apartment building, bought their first home or whatever, and held on to it through the ups and downs and didn't get excited when the market was up and pulled all their money out. They just said, I'm just going to hold on to it. And they rode waves through the early 80s, the late 90s, early 2000s, and just stayed constant, took care of the properties, took care of their tenants, so which means their tenants stayed and continued to pay rent, even in the bad times like we're technically in right now, worked with them. Those are the ones that literally don't worry about money. And so I would say, if you're a renter right now, the best thing you could do is connect with a trusted local mortgage person, broker, who can run your credit, help advise on, because a lot of people have credit issues they need to clean up. Get that stuff done now. I can't tell you how many people's credit I run and be like, dude, you owe $60 to Verizon. Pay the freaking bill. Come on, or to the city of San Diego taxes, or parking tickets. I mean, it's literally the stupidest of things that sometimes they just don't know about, or they're just ignoring it. It's not going to go away. And that will literally be, I've seen people not get homes because they had to pay off a truck.
Wow.
Or something very minimal. So do the work now. Even if you don't think, oh, I'm never going to buy. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Opportunities come up, because here's what happens is your landlord will call you and say, hey, good news, bad news. Bad news is the owner needs to sell. Good news is they want to sell to you. And I've caught a few people off guard because they're like, oh, and they're scrambling because they want to buy the home. And if now, and especially in today's market where you got multiple bids on most properties, if you can buy a home off market, no competition, so there's no bidding wars, and usually most of my clients will give a bit of a discount, not a lot, but a consolation, like, hey, I don't have to go to market. I just
don't have to deal with the headache. You got it for me.
You paid the rent. You've taken care of the house. I'll give you a couple bucks off the house. You want to be in that position to where if your landlord calls you and surprises you and says, hey, we need to sell the house, which is happening a lot. California is not very landlord friendly, so a lot of people are selling off their rentals here. Be ready for that call, or be in the position that, hey, this opportunity came up. I would like to buy something, because I hate to say it, when you're renting, you are throwing that money away every month. It's gone.
I call throwing it into a burning trash can.
However you want to, whatever analogy you want to use.
It's legitimately the way I put it.
It does. So,
it feels that way.
So get your credit dialed in, and I can't tell you how many people don't realize how quick it is to rebuild your credit. It is very possible. And then also, building that credit score, and then realizing, if I'm military, utilize that VA program.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, that's amazing. And then a lot of people don't realize if you have any disability rating with the VA, a lot of your fees get waived. Wow. Which is great. A lot of people don't know that. And then just for the rest of, everybody else, FHA programs, conventional programs. I mean, right now people are literally writing around 3%. Less.
Do you know what the bare minimum is for disability qualifier?
That's all based on their VA, their disability rating. What happens?
A lot of guys that are retiring or leaving out of service right now, men and women, are leaving with a percentage of disability due to PTSD, due to IED explosions, whatever it may have been. But that's why I asked the question.
That's all over the board.
Yeah,
it's all over the board.
Awesome.
But regardless, there's so many opportunities. So I'd say be ready for them, because you may surprise yourself.
So going into that, you would say that if someone even wants to play around with this idea, what's the first best course of action for them? Maybe even reach out to you?
Yeah, I would say they can reach out to myself. We have a connection with a great lender that we can connect them with that is, no obligation. There's no pressure. It doesn't cost them anything. That's the other thing. It doesn't cost you anything.
Just an invite to see what's up.
Just see what's going on. Even if you have, maybe some credit repair you need to do, you'd be surprised how many lenders can actually do that. Or advise you on that versus having to sign up for ABC credit repair that you actually have to pay money to. Yeah. So I would say with with that, if they would like to jump on our website, we actually have a link for people to apply for, or pretty much just like a little guest card kind of thing. But they can connect with the lender, and it'll go right to the lender. The website address for that is benchmarksocal.com. And then the cool thing too is on the website we have all of our rentals posted. So if they are looking for something in North County, South Temecula area, stuff's there. And then of course we have a live IDX, what's called an IDX feed, where they can actually search for properties on the MLS without having to, go on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, whatever, and see real-time information. And because we are nerds by default, we actually integrate with the largest MLS system in the state of California. So if they are looking at, hey, I'm actually going to go up to Northern California or somewhere else, it's not just Southern California. So they can jump over to San Clemente, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino County, and all the way up north with San Luis Obispo, all of San Francisco. We all tie in together.
And then you also have a virtual home tour section on your website as well. So
exactly. So we're big on video. Very big on video.
It's good right now because of everything.
Yep. Yeah. We fortunately, because we're nerds like that, have been a step ahead of everybody else that's trying to figure it out now.
Yeah. Everyone is trying to figure it out now.
Yeah.
Even us.
But again, done is better than perfect.
That is true. Awesome. So last bit, again, everyone, if you would like to reach out to Lee and ask any questions, follow up with anything that may be of curiosity, you want to learn how to apply more to the renters market, you want to learn more about property management, Lee's going to be a great source for you to look at and to request information from. You guys will have this out on a YouTube video as well as the information inside the Facebook Live. Lee, thank you so much for having me.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
I appreciate this so much.
Anytime.
You guys have a wonderful day and good day.
Thanks, guys.